Okay, this is for lesson 6, exit ticket, solving problems by finding equivalent ratios. So this is an exit ticket example, of course. This is not going to be the same values that are in the actual exit ticket. We've changed them so that I can go over this exit ticket and I can ensure that you will be able to learn the material without just copying the material because I've changed the values and the ratio. So let's get going. Students surveyed boys and girls separately to determine which sport was enjoyed the most. After completing the boy survey, it was determined that for every 3 boys who enjoyed soccer, 7 boys enjoyed basketball. Okay, so I'm going to stop real quick, and right now, before we go any further, I'm going to get my values, quantities, or amounts and their description. So I'm going to use blue and red. And we've got, I went a little bit too far here. We've got 3 boys who enjoyed soccer, 7 boys who enjoyed basketball. And just to make sure, I'm going to zoom up and circle the quantity 3 and circle the quantity 7. Now we'll zoom back out and let's finish reading here. The girl survey had a ratio of the number of girls who enjoyed soccer to the number of girls who enjoyed basketball. So again, it's soccer to basketball. But this time it's girls. Okay, so we're beginning to see that there's actually 2 different surveys here. One being conducted on the boys and one being conducted on the girls. The girls who enjoyed basketball, the girls who enjoyed soccer to the amount who enjoyed basketball was 3-1. So let's just make sure we have those values and descriptions underlined. Girls who enjoy soccer and girls who enjoy basketball. And we have those as a 3-1 ratio. 3-1. Then it continues, if the same number of boys and girls were surveyed and 140 boys enjoy soccer, how many girls enjoy each sport? So it's giving us partial bits of information. It's first saying that the same number of boys and girls were surveyed. So we know that the same amount, the total, if we're doing a part to whole scenario, the total for boys and the total for girls are going to be the same. What's different is the ratios of enjoying soccer to enjoying basketball. So in this side, we have a 3-7 ratio for the boys and a 3-1 ratio for the girls. So let's take a look at how that would play out by making some equivalent ratio tables first and plugging in the information that we have. So right over here, we'll do the boys survey, okay, and let's make sure we put survey. And then on this side, we'll do the girls survey. That way we can keep our information separate. And now we can plug in our descriptions. So we have soccer is in blue, to basketball in red, and the same thing goes for the girls. We're not switching up the colors because it's the same stuff that we're looking for. And then we're going to give a couple of spaces in here so that we can sort out the information. And then we're going to plug in the information that we do have. And remember, we do have lots of bits of information all over the place that we can use and we can plug into these empty spots here to provide us with a better understanding. So we have 3 boys enjoyed soccer, 3 boys enjoyed soccer. We'll take that 3 And we'll bring it over here. In fact, I think I can do, remember I tried to do this before. Let's see if it works. Perfect. And then I'll bring it over here and I'll say 3. That way you can tell that I'm just getting this right from over here. And then the amount that enjoyed basketball was 7. And again, we're getting that right from here and we're bringing it over here. So 3 to 7 in the boys. And then let's finish and we'll plug in for the girls. I think I'm going to need to zoom up a little bit to get these. And we got 3 for soccer. And we have, for every 3, one of those, or one person likes basketball. Okay, so now we got those values plugged in, but we got actually another value that they're giving us that we can also plug in. So it says that there was 100, this says there's 140 boys who enjoy soccer. 140 boys who enjoy soccer. So we can actually, I'm going to just put a little yellow under there so I can box it. And I can see it clearly because I am going to take that information. I'm going to zoom up and I'm going to grab that 140 because we can plug it in. Let me zoom out here. We can actually take this 140 and it's enjoy soccer, so we can put it into the soccer. Now we can get to make sense out of the information here. Now we can say, well, since the same amount of boys and girls were both surveyed, and it says it right there, so given the same number of boys and girls were surveyed, so if we have 140, then we are basically trying to find the other side so that we can add the two together and then we can get this this number that they're really looking for, which is the whole. So they want to know how many girls enjoy each sport, and it says that right here. How many girls enjoy each sport? So we want to understand the whole amount. So that we can partition that over on this side. We can say, okay, this many girls enjoy soccer and this many girls enjoy basketball. But in order to know that, we have to figure out, well, what is the whole? What is the total amount of students being surveyed? Because they don't give us a missing side for either one of these. So if we don't know the total amount surveyed, we won't know how high we have to bring those numbers up to. So let's take a look here. So boys surveyed, we have 140. What did we have to get? Well, there's a couple different ways we can look at this. We can say, well, what did you have to do to get from 7 to 140? And we know that 7 times 2 is equal to 14. If we add in the 0, 20, we get 140. We can also say, well, this is 7 over 140. Let's flip that and say 140 over 7. Then that can be 7 into 140, which again is equal to 20. So you can look at it that way. So if you did it to one side, you had to times 7 by 20 on one side. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And so we have to times 3 by 20. 3 times 20 is the same as saying 3 times 2 and then adding the 0 back in. So 3 times 2 is 6, and then we add that 0 back in, and it's 60. So now we have the students, or excuse me, the boys that enjoy soccer if there's 140 that enjoy basketball. If we add all that up, Okay, so we add the two parts together. Remember, this is a part and this is a part. Okay, and those parts are soccer part, basketball part. But we need the total here, so we're going to add up the total. 60 plus 140 is going to equal 200 students total. I should say male students or boys. Okay, so there's 200. So that means that the girls, there has to have been, if there's the same number of boys and girls were surveyed and 200 male students were surveyed, that means 200 female students were surveyed. So now we have to see, okay, well, if we added that third column in, and we were looking at the total with it, okay, in a 3-to-1 total, we just add up those two parts. Remember, again, this is a part, that is a part. We're going to add up the two parts to get a whole, or to get the total. In fact, so I'm not so confusing, let's change and keep it the same language. Let's get the whole here. Since we're doing part to part, part to whole, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Okay, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Again, that's the whole. So if we have a total of 4, we know that 4 into 100 is 25, but 4 going into 200 is going to be 50. Now, if you add 50 up 4 times, you get 200. Okay, because you get 100 here, 100 here, that equals 200. So you get 200 if each part is worth 50. So what does that mean for our soccers and our basketball? Well, it means that on one side, okay, we're going to have 53 times. Remember, we had 54 times over here, which equaled 200 female students. But we're going back to the parts. Okay, the soccer part is only worth 3. So 3 50s, because we figured out that you need 4 sets of 50 to equal 200. So 3 sets of 50 is just going to equal 150, right? So we can go ahead and put 150. And then the remainder that's left after 150 is 50. 50 more, and you would get 200, and you can check that by just adding it together. You get 150 plus 150, and that'll equal 200. So the answer here is 150 girls enjoy soccer and 50 girls enjoy basketball. And that is when you use a 3-to-1 ratio and you have a total of 200 girls.